"What did you say?" Claire shouted, trembling in fear. Darlena snapped a finger, and a screen appeared in front of Claire. It had the words, "Starting in, counting down from 5. Seeing that Darlena was serious about what was going to happen, she quickly looked around to see if there was some place she could run to. Unfortunately, all Claire could see was the grassy field swaying gently in the wind. Claire pulled out the handgun and aimed it at the monster just as the countdown reached 0. Rapidly pulling the trigger, several of the shots missed, with only a few striking the monster. Though the beast winced, the only signs of her damaging the thing were singe marks on its fur. Roaring, it charged at her, the claws digging into the ground and flinging the dirt into the air. As Claire kept firing the gun, she tried to think about how to survive. Even if Darlena had said that it would inevitably eat her, Claire refused to believe she couldn't live through the encounter. "Think, Claire," she yelled at herself. When the monster was a dozen feet away, it leaped into the air with its maw opened wide. It was like slow motion, seeing the saliva in the thing's mouth pouring out as it anticipated the meal. The eyes of the creature locked onto the figure of Claire. She could even hear the sound of the claws cutting through the air with the goal of slicing her body into pieces. Moving on its own volition, her body rolled out of the way just in time. The move was purely on instinct. Claire could even feel one of the claws get close enough to her arm just as she cleared out of the way. "I can do this," Claire thought to herself, completing the roll. Struggling to get up, she quickly lifted the weapon to resume the attack. "I just need to keep dodging while attacking this monster. This is how I'll avoid being killed by the thing." She felt confident about the outcome, a sense of pride welling up inside. Raising the gun to retake aim, only thing to be seen was the jaw of the monster filling her vision. How was it that fast? Claire could only think to herself before she could only hear her screams as the monster bit its teeth into her head. Gasping, Claire opened her eyes to see the same empty grassy field. As her sight began to focus, her eyes saw Darlena standing in front. "I first want to congratulate you on your ability to dodge the first attack. Based on our projections, an adventurer with no prior experience would have been eaten on the initial attack. Still, you were able to evade it." Darlena clapped supportingly at Claire. With Darlena mentioning how she had died, Claire began to hyperventilate in panic. Her mind struggled to understand what was happening and was being overloaded. "I died." The words kept being repeated in her mind. Instead of helping her, Darlena simply watched as Claire fought the thoughts racing through her mind. Slowly, Claire was able to regain her composure, even if the feelings were still raw in her mind. As though it understood the trauma it had gone through, her body continued to tremble. "I'm sorry you had to go through that." Darlena tried to comfort the girl. With one of her eyes still twitching, Claire yelled, "You're sorry? What does that even mean?" She took a deep breath. The torrential emotions began to bubble up, but stopped at the last minute. Experiencing your own mortality is necessary to survive in this world. Having gone through the process once, the level of fear towards death should have decreased drastically. Darlena sighed. Now, you'll have both a respect towards danger and not be burdened by the known fear of death. This is an important thing to have, since you'll be training in a dangerous environment to survive an even more dangerous world. Spitting out the buildup of saliva in her mouth, Claire used the forearm to wipe off the spit. Not even soldiers trained and have experience in war will be able to survive this world. In order to not be swallowed up by the nightmares roaming about in the world, you'll need to reforge your body and mind into something stronger." Darlena's voice was level, as though her words were common sense in the new, hellish environment above ground.